Hi, welcome to Rajal 9. Today we are going to discuss about how to integrate the script runner in JIRA. As we all know, JIRA is a kind of project management come bug tracking tool. Especially we will be using in the field of agile environment, wherein to manage multiple teams and all everything in agile level. So JIRA can be used even for Scrum followed by Kanban because Scrum is a kind of framework which will be used to manage multiple teams by having different teams and all, like something like roles like product owner, Scrum master, Scrum team, all that. At the same time, Kanban also can be used to manage the work based upon the pull and push request. Now, script runner is the kind of one which integration can be done, where for this for further, we can do some groovy scripting and all everything can be done here. Especially whenever we are working on JIRA, that too the people who are working on JIRA administration, all that, those people should know how to integrate script runner with JIRA so that whatever the groovy scripting and all everything can be done in coming days. So here you can see this is where generally we have an option where we can go for apps. In these apps, we can select that script runner for JIRA. We have to select it. Of course, it's a free version which is available as of now. So you can select that. So whenever you select it, it requires some configurations to be made. So what is the video today? I'm going to discuss about the configuration part. In this configuration here, you can see there are different options available in script runner where we can browse it, or else script console is being used for, because different consoles can be created in reference to the scripting part. Or else if you want to create any kind of scripts, building scripts and all everything can also be created here. Now, what is that I'm going to do is what we are doing some configuration in reference to the JIRA script runner now. So for that, there are some basic questions which should be answered by the people whoever is doing it. So here, this is the first option where it will ask us, do you have any experience in reference to the one which we have used or earlier or something like, right? So this is what generally it will ask us, because as I'm making this video, especially for the beginner level, especially for the people who are new to this, so that what I am doing is that it is asking us that script runner for JIRA before you have used or not. So I'm just selecting as no. Okay. Now, second question, what would like to achieve with script runner? Choose what is that you wants to do, right? So that is what it was asking us. So now, for example, I want to automate repetitive task, right? So for that reason, I'm using this. At the same time, if I want to improve the user experience across JIRA, for this, I want to use it. At the same time, if I want to implement customized business processes and all everything, right? So these are the three answers which I have selected and click on submit. Now you can see there is a welcome note. You can see from the script runner where we have got the welcome note. Now here dashboard setup is what generally it was asking us, where we have enabled it. At the same time, you can see script runner overview. At the same time, listeners of the script runners, right? So all these things you can write. For example, if you want to schedule any kind of jobs or kind of script console, right? So at the same time, workflow overviews, if you want to browse pages, right? So all these informations can be uploaded here, can be updated here. This is where generally the dashboard setup was done. You can see here the finished setting of the dashboard, personalized dashboard was created based on recommendations which was given by me. Now, if I want to open a script console here, you can see this is where generally the script console is being used for, right? So this is where you can see here. Yeah. So script console. So script, it will ask us about the script console overview, right? So if you want to have an understanding over the overview of the script console and all, you can go for this. Click on next. Next, if you want to run on the current user, right? So if you want to run on the current user and if you want to test your scripts and all, here, first of all, we have to run it, right? So we have to run, followed by this test scripts and all that. So wherein we need to define the permission scope. I'm just clicking on done. right? So this is where you can see, right? So this is where you can see it will ask as an example in reference to this, because in reference to the script console I'm talking about, right? Not in the built-in scripts, right? In reference to the script console I'm talking about, because first of all we have to create a script console first, then only we have to do next. So script console is the first thing which we have to do first of all, right? So here we have to choose the example, right? Whatever the example related, all that stuff. Now, for example, creation of task is what I am taking as an example. You can see here, creation of an example. Now we need to select which kind of user are we, right? So are we a current user or a script runner add-on user? So if you are selecting a script runner add-on user here, we have to run it, right? So this is where generally we need to run. So this is where generally the overall code, whatever the code and all, everything can be seen here, right? So you can see the logs, followed by this, you can run here equally, right? So this is where generally this will be used for. Or else if you want to select this based upon the kind of current user what we have, means if you want to create a task wherein we have selected, if you want to create a current user related stuff, right? You can see here, right? So this is where generally this script console and all everything is being created. At the same time, if you want to create any kind of built-in scripts here, so this is where generally these built-in scripts are being used for. It's loading, just be online for a moment. Yeah, so this is where generally built scripts are there. So where if you want to do any kind of bulk loading issues and all everything, we can do this. Or else if you want to resolve any kind of bulk fix resolutions, or if you want to copy any kind of custom field values from any other folder and all, we can select it. So now what I'm doing is copy custom field values to another folder, right? So that is what I'm just selecting here. Now this is where generally this subquery editing of jQuery is all that stuff. That query has to be selected. Now I'm just selecting as start, actual start. I'm selecting the target field as actual end, right? In reference to the jQuery part and all everything, wherein we can select on the run part, wherein we can select on the run part here. At the same time, if you want to adjust any kind of query, or if you want to edit any kind of queries or something of that sort, right? So we can identify some different queries, all that stuff, whatever we have, right? So whatever the versions we have, right? So whatever the updations we have and all everything, the queries we have to write. So unless until there is no queries and all that, so which would be difficult for us to write all that stuff, right? So this is where generally the copy of custom fields, all that stuff will be used here accordingly. This is where generally it is being used for. This is how we need to build in scripts and all. In the next session, I'll be explaining about how these GQL queries will be created, all that, right? So how these queries and all. Next, followed by the script listeners. In this script listeners, whatever the script listening process we have, if you want to add any kind of examples and all everything, we can add it. Otherwise, if you want to create any kind of script listeners and all everything, here we have to create. We have to create script listeners, whatever the requirements we have and all everything. So this is where generally the script learners can be created. Or else if you want to take any kind of examples in reference to the existing one what we have, so those examples can be taken, right? So existing examples can be taken here. If you want, we can add some examples to that, wherein you can see here. Yeah. So here, this is where generally this example was there, where the example is that some subtask story points and added to the parent, right? This is what generally, so wherein I am enabling scripting here, right? So enabling scripting, add script runner add-on, right? Add on to the runner, right? This is where I was taken all that. Now, here we have to select the example, right? So what example are we going to select? This is what we need to take it here accordingly, right? So subtask story points to add the parent is what we have taken, identify it. So we have updated all the events, everything, whatever we have. And the same time, you can see the hierarchy level, what is that is been evaluated here. And this is what generally the code which has to be run. right? So this is where you can see here. Now I'm taking an example of creating an issue script is what I have taken. Now I'm just clicking on save, right? So these are, you can see there are some two events whereas, right, you can see, right? So there is subtask story points add to that, right? So we can see there are two events which was created here. At the same time, there were whatever the projects in reference to the one which I have, and also those projects I can see here accordingly. This is how generally the script runner in reference to the JIRA integration, which we have to do it. And this is how generally this creation of scripts, all that and all everything is being used for. If you have any queries and any questions in regard to that, followed by any kind of needs, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.